10 in the evening, there was an individual, it is reported to us, a white male, approximately 5'8", 5'9", somewhere in that range, who was wearing a baseball type hat and walking a black dog. And we would like very much for that person to contact the Yarmouth Police Department and identify themselves for the police to just be able to speak with them. In addition, the individual who is the victim of this incident is Joseph F., as in Frank, Tomaselli Jr., with a date of birth of August the 28th of 1984. We are very interested in learning from anyone out in the public where Mr. Tomaselli may have spent his evening hours on Sunday, and even going back into Sunday afternoon and Sunday morning. So any individuals that might have information with respect to those issues, we're asking that they call the Yarmouth Police Department. And Chief, could you give a number that would be best for them to call in to with respect to those issues?
The best number to call would be 775-0445 and ask for Sergeant Chuck Peterson. That's Sergeant Chuck Peterson, 775-0445.
Extension 134.
Extension 134. Thank you, Lieutenant.
Yes.
Are there any questions? And to the extent that I can answer them, I'll try, but we're going to, be careful about what we say. We're in the early stages of this investigation. Any questions?
Can you tell us?
Sorry, go ahead.
Can you tell us where the gunshot wound was?
The head.
Can you say who discovered the body or how it was discovered?
I'm not going to go into that at this point.
Can you say how you learned about this person that you're looking for? You have a description of this person, so other people have described this person who's in there?
That's a very good deduction.
So what are those people saying about?
We're not going to get into that. Anything else?
Is there any indication that anybody else in the area heard anything or saw anything besides
Well,
this?
we're not going to get into that at the moment.
If I could close with, I'd like to commend the extraordinary effort between the Mass State Police and Yarmouth police officers in the initial stages of this investigation. And again, a special thanks for the excellent work of the Yarmouth Fire Department, who responded and helped us out throughout the initial incident.
At this point, can you say there is a suspect or not a suspect?
Well, this is such an early stage of the investigation. I wouldn't say that, Matt. Yes, sir.
Do you believe there's a danger just to average folks who live in the area or around because of this crime?
Well, in response to that, I would only say something that I've said, many times in these kind of scenarios. Most homicides are committed by people who are known to the victim. And there isn't anything about this case and the circumstances of this case that would suggest that that sort of rule of thumb isn't applicable here. So, while, and this question always comes up when there's an event like this, inappropriately so, but I would just say to the public, you have to be, careful, but there's nothing in this scenario that would suggest that there's some stranger on the loose that's committing these kinds of acts against random individuals. No.
Can you say whether or not there's any indication of other crimes, drugs or alcohol, anything like that on the scene in the car?
Well, I'm not going to get into that aspect of it either at this point.
I think in the press release it said apparent homicide. It sounds like you're talking about a homicide here. Is that?
Well, we have since had some confirmation from the ME's office, although the autopsy is not complete, that the initial x-rays would indicate a round in the head.
And I guess, deduction that it's an apparent homicide based on lack of a weapon at the scene, or, I mean, can you say, I guess, how you've arrived at the apparent homicide?
No, I'm not going to, I don't think.
Was there a weapon at the scene?
I'm not going to get into that either.
You said one round discovered by the medical examiner.
Correct.
Any other rounds in the vehicle, on the ground?
None that have thus far been detected. Okay? Yes, sir.
Was the victim known to police for past tangles with the law?
Well, I'm not at liberty to go into those kinds of things for reasons that are, that have been repeated at events like this over the last million years. We're just not allowed to do that.
Do we know what
Yes,
town
ma'am.
the victim was a resident of?
He moved around the Mid-Cape area.